If you've ever wondered why Viking, Norse, and Saxon-related plots keep turning up in entertainment like a bad case of the bedbugs, it's because they contain some timeless plot components that are adored by audiences of all ages and socio-economic groups. A quick disclaimer though, you won't catch us complaining. Before we give any more away, let's break it down for you. To begin with, what is it about them that just keeps bringing us back? These stories combine the white man lead and masculine power fantasy stereotype in a positive way, since so many of these stories, like Lagertha in Vikings, give female protagonists an equal opportunity to participate in the plundering and warfare. There is even a feminist appeal. Oh, and practically everyone in these programs is smoking hot. It can be entertaining to occasionally indulge in power fantasies while watching attractive individuals fight violent battles, flirt with one another in between action sequences, and worship ancient deities. Does it get any better than that? Alexander Dreymon of The Last Kingdom has to work just like any other mortal guy to look that wonderful, shirtless. It's that simple. Dreymon's washboard stomach is obviously real, unlike the purported CGI abs in 300. To keep shredded for the cameras and portray vicious warrior Uhtred, he follows a very strict diet and training routine. Let's learn more about that, shall we? It will be simpler for you to get into and maintain the kind of shape that keeps your abs camera ready all the time, the more physically active you are. And it's not easy, folks. Alexander Dreymon recently spoke with Muscle and Fitness magazine and described all the different ways he likes to remain active in great detail. High-intensity exercises like jiu-jitsu, weightlifting, horseback riding, and sword fighting are a few of these enjoyable pursuits. Magnus Samuelsson, the 1998 World's Strongest Man, who appeared as a guest star on the show in Season 2 and firmly believes in the idea of mind over matter, was another inspiration for him. Now, here's how important his diet is. No matter how beneficial exercise is, a poor diet can't be balanced out through exercise. Whether you ask them to or not, the majority of bro science fitness experts are ready to explain how the abs are forged in the kitchen. Dreymon doesn't follow a very rigorous diet, although he often opts for healthier options. The German actor explained that he has a naturally high metabolism, therefore he's one of those sorts that people dislike. Duh! He further added that he's drawn to foods that are also nutritious, such as vegetables, salads, and fish, since he believes that the more natural your intake is, the healthier it must be for you. Just what we were afraid of. But there you have it then. You'll be prepared to roam the streets shirtless in no time. If you get on your horse, ride to the closest gym, then text your World's Strongest Man friend to come find you. Substituting one or two of your fast food dinners each week with a salmon and broccoli dinner could be at least a good start if you don't have access to all those things. Coming up, why is all of this necessary for the character? The epic historical action series The Last Kingdom, which stars this legendary actor as its conflicted, mixed-race Saxon Viking hero, was first created by the BBC, then evolved into a BBC Netflix co-production, and finally became wholly owned by Netflix. The series, which begins chronicling the development of England as a single nation in the 9th century AD, strongly references the turbulent history of the time, while also using a lot of poetic license to tell its story. Dreymon's character, Uhtred of Bebbanburg, is a fictional, but largely historically accurate Saxon boy, raised and trained in the skills of fighting by Danish Vikings. In order to maintain the authenticity and keep up the theatrics, it's necessary the actor remains fit. Besides, some stunts in a shirtless scene never hurt anybody. After his father's passing, Uhtred, played by David Dawson of Peaky Blinders and Ripper Street, joins forces with the venerable British King Alfred the Great after being forced out of his rightful fief by a cunning uncle. The fictional Uhtred, one of Alfred's greatest warriors, will play a significant part in a number of actual historical incidents and significant battles in the series, as the last kingdom of Wessex is besieged by invading Viking hordes. Now, have you wondered if Dreymon does all of his own stunts? The million-dollar question is, does Dreymon genuinely manage his own highly convincing-looking on-screen stunts in The Last Kingdom, given that his participation is required in many of the violent axes and broadswords, swinging battle scenes of the show? On The Last Kingdom, Alex Dreymon enjoys performing his own stunt work. The actor was ready to talk about the specifics of day-to-day living when he spoke with MuscleandFitness.com. When asked if he performs many of the stunts himself, he said that his stunt double has taught him a lot. Dreymon further added that he has profited greatly from the series' stunt coordinator, Levante Lizak, who educates the cast on how to handle their mounts. The actor went on to say that he is well suited to performing his own equine exploits. Apparently, he used to get on a horse and simply ride for hours when he lived in South Dakota. To him, it offers the greatest sensation of liberation. What's more, Dreymon released a video to his Instagram account, exhibiting his character's athletic ability to slice and dice not just a single enemy combatant, but more than half a dozen at once, showing how proud he is of his blade-wielding, enemy-vanquishing work on The Last Kingdom. So the man is highly gifted in the looks department, and also has a touch of athletic flair. Is there anything he can't do? Now here's some other news that might interest you. First up are Alexander Dreymon and Arnes Fedorovichus from The Last Kingdom friends in real life. The fight between the Saxon and the Viking troops is followed in The Last Kingdom, which is based on the Bernard Cornwell novel series, The Saxon Stories. Each season of Cornwell's series covers 2 of the 10 novels, with the 5th season and the impending film Seven Kings Must Die concluding the plot definitively. Citric and Uhtred are 2 unexpected allies who become bound by combat and blood in the television series, and they are portrayed by Arnes Fedorovichus and Alexander Dreymon. In light of this, some viewers might be curious as to whether the actors who portray these characters have friendships that are similar to those they portray on film. Winter is Coming met with Arnes Fedorovichus to discuss his role as the bastard turned warrior Citric and the relationship he's made while filming The Last Kingdom. Although Fedorovichus and Alexander Dreymon have already revealed their close relationship, the actor who plays Citric here provided his own perspective by discussing his bond with Dreymon and other cast members. Fedorovichus stated that their off-screen time with each other increased as they began to work out, eat meals together, and assist each other with projects. Basically, just a ton of time spent together. And of course, gradually, they came to understand that's what gives the play life. Next up on our news radar is The Last Kingdom's Eliza Butterworth's apology to co-star. Eliza Butterworth apologized to her co-star in The Last Kingdom by saying, "I suppose I failed you." The Last Kingdom fans were devastated when Aelswith lost her daughter Ethelfled to cancer in Season 5. Eliza Butterworth, an Aelswith actress, revealed how she had performed the incorrect scene during an emotionally charged performance. Fans were moved by the scene, but Eliza acknowledged that she said she'd been practicing the wrong script. The actress said that she spent weeks practicing an earlier edition of the screenplay, even though it had been revised. She shared that she was glad that she sold it at that moment, because the actress left that day thinking she'd royally screwed up. Is she forgiven, folks? Lastly, how historically accurate is Netflix The Last Kingdom? Given that The Last Kingdom is primarily a drama series, it is a sense that part of the actual history of how England was founded will be lost in the telling of this tale, or changed for entertainment value. Undoubtedly, many fans have questioned if the show is indeed historically accurate, or merely a retelling of a dry or uninteresting historical story. Apparently, the show is both a mix of fact and fiction. Sadly, The Last Kingdom seems to be more of a historical fiction series than an accurate account of England's history. Professor Ryan Lavelle, The Last Kingdom's historical consultant, described the show's treatment of history as a balance between reality and fantasy in an interview with Den of Geek. Lavelle claims that the series' extremely compressed timeline of historical events, which renders some characters much younger or older than they would have been in real life, and the invention of a plague during Season 4, are some of the more obvious historical inaccuracies. The character of Uhtred, who is a fictional character created for Bernard Cornwell's The Saxon Stories, and who is loosely based on the historical figure Uhtred the Bold, who lived during an entirely different century than Uhtred from the show, is perhaps the most flagrant historical inaccuracy in the entire series. It's obvious that The Last Kingdom is a combination of fact and fiction, which is possibly a good thing in the end, because the extra drama makes the program more interesting and compelling. That's a wrap. Let us know in the comments below what you think of Alexander Dreymon and his abs. Do you think you can follow his lifestyle? Hit like and click that subscribe button, and we'll be back with another video. Bye!